Was ist los? It's your German boy here, and welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings. Now, last time we learned a little bit more about how we ended up here, and, the old gang, we just kind of got together and had lunch like we used to back in the day. So, let's go from here, shall we? See what
いい
happens.
ホタル。葵はね、この町を離れてる間にちょっとエッチになっちゃったのよ。
Really?
そうなの？
Oh, God.
そうなの。残念ながらね。
Hey! Don't fill her head with such nonsense. Lies and slander.
お前ら見てるとほんと和むよ。
Don't just stand there laughing. Back me up here, Anchan.
何？悪いことじゃないさ。何かに打ち込んだり、誰かを好きになったり。
Anchan gave me a squeeze as he put his arm around my shoulder.
早く新しいこと見つかるといいな、葵。
Speaking into my ear so that only I could hear, Anchan let go of me.
じゃあな、公共の場であんまり騒ぐなよ。
Raising one hand to wave me gently, Anchan went home. Oh, we're off to a good start. After Anchan went back, we went from Imagi Sports to say hello to Ageha's father. Then I stayed for a little while, enjoyed some tea and cakes, and it soon became evening. As I vaulted along the street to the dormitory, it still felt like I didn't want to go back just yet. I might go for a little stroll. Sounds like a good plan. It's changed a lot around here, too. Before, there was only an embankment here. We used to play here a lot, catching koi and the crucian crap, but now it had a promenade and been made into a walking course. Well, this was just right for taking a stroll, so I walked slowly while gazing quietly at the lake, dyed by the setting sun. My hometown had changed a lot in 5 years, but the important things hadn't changed at all. Finding something new is a good thing, Ollie. Finding something. As I speak quietly to myself, I look at the view on the other bank. The windmills standing on the gentle slope faced the wind and slowly turned. Even so, the chef's ramen was really tasty. Next time, I'll try the dipping noodles. Eh? Who's there? A little further away, someone was there. It was a petite girl. She ran her hand along the fence, and like me, was gazing at Windmill Hill on the opposite bank. Someone was there? I didn't think anyone was there, so I was talking to myself, but it seems that she heard me. Huh? Here's that... The mood about her was a little different, so I didn't realize straight away. But no doubt about it, it's the girl who was in the supermarket yesterday. The girl who brought a lot of 2,980 yen per 100-gram meat to make curry. Was the curry nice?
どうして知ってるの？
Don't you remember? Yesterday in the supermarket. Ooh, I think we just made a little sus.
ああ、それは多分私じゃないわね。
Huh? What on earth is she talking about?
姉さんってば、ぼーっとしてるからまたナンパでもされちゃったのかしら。
Older sister, eh?
すき焼きとお刺身だったわ。
Huh?
昨日の夕食。
Oh, I see. She's talking about what was bought at the supermarket. I guess that's what happened. There's no way you could make hurry with something like that. It seems that right at the last minute, she started to see sense.
じゃ、私はもう行くから。
Sure. It totally felt like for her talking to me was too much hassle, so she dismissively got up and left. It was a completely different feeling to when I met that girl in the supermarket. While thinking how strange it was that there would be such a complete change in a girl whose name I didn't even know, I returned to the road home. It wasn't far from the lake to the dormitory. I didn't have any time to think about much before I got back. Something new. The parts that I had been given by Anchan were in my pocket. As I held them in my hand, I looked up at the clouds slowly floating across the sunset sky. These things are gonna fly, aren't they? I meant the glider parts. They would become part of that white aircraft and would fly across the sky on those great big wings to the other side of the clouds. The reason why I decided to look up at the clouds impulsively like that might have just been because of that girl I just met. Forgetting about my silly fantasy, I got through the gates of the dormitory.
あと、まだよ。まだ動いちゃダメよ。
Kotori was in her wheelchair with her back bent over, slowly creeping forwards. It was almost as though she was walking on tiptoes. What are you up to this time? I was quite used to her doing sus things, but I still hadn't acquired the ability to determine instantly what it was she was doing. She gave me a long stare. A cat? There it was, laying across the stone steps, licking and grooming itself. Then on the other side, Hat was waiting. Are you trying a pincer attack? It didn't really look like that, though. However, if they did, they might be able to... Interrupting my thoughts, Kotori gave the signal. Suddenly, Hat started flapping his wings and chasing the cat from behind. Surprised, the cat jumped up and ran in the opposite direction, where Kotori was waiting to catch it. There's no way that'll work. The cat, with brilliant footwork like Zidane's Marseille roulette, turned around while evading Kotori and ran away. You really were trying a pincer attack. Kotori realized I was looking at her and sulked quietly. What were you gonna do once you caught the cat? It was as if she was saying, of course, but even if she caught a surprised cat as it was running away, it would go crazy, and at worst, scratch and cut her. Next time, make a better strategy. For example, you could try luring it towards you with a long piece of grass. She said as she earnestly wrote a memo. It looks like she always has a notebook tucked away in her wheelchair. Huh? She points at me. This is a sign that she's got some bone to pick with me. Huh? I went for a walk, that's why. Her tone was like a mother scolding her child. I wonder if there was something I was supposed to have done? It's still only 5 o'clock, though. Sorry, If I start about 6, I usually get it done in time.
そう。じゃあ、明日からそうするわ。
She said as she wrote another note. Do you mean that you were waiting for me? She must have gotten bored, which is why she decided to catch the cat.
そうよ。けど、待ってたのは義務を果たすため。変な勘違いしないでよね。
I don't know what sort of funny ideas you mean. Could you give me a few examples? I'll try teasing her a little.
そんなの自分で考えなさい。いいから、ほら行くわよ。私、もうお腹ペコペコなんだから。ね。ほら、ハットもお腹空いたって。
Okay, well then, it's still a little early, but shall we get started?
ねえ、今日は何？
Mapo eggplants and egg
それ美
soup.
味しい？
Yeah, it's great. It's my specialty.
美味しいんだって。わー。
As we go through the dormitory door, I realize that my feelings of uneasiness had vanished at some point. She tried to do a pincer attack with a duck to catch a cat. Didn't she? While I remembered this, I started to chuckle to myself and realized that when she's with me, I feel strangely calm. And then things start to feel weird again. This is life now. Let's see what goes on. Amane was looking over the parts that I had brought her from every angle and let out sounds that expressed admiration. Is this okay?
ああ、間違いない。
Whoa!
ありがとう。
She suddenly hugged me again. I remember you did that.
また。なにどういうこと？ありがとう。ありがとう。
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Glomp attack is real. Hey, that hurts, Amani. Come
私
on.
は感謝の気持ちを伝えるのが下手なんだ。バカだからな。
It hurts, but it feels good. Because she's holding tightly and our foreheads are together. Oh. Can I read that? Like, can I read that here on YouTube? Fuck it, I'm reading it. Her ample chest is pushing against me. Not only is she beautiful, but stylish too. They are bigger than they look. And I have no choice but to experience this for myself.
よろしい。何あの顔。あれはエッチなこと考えてるわね。
So are you! You're just making up whatever you feel like. It's lunchtime, by the way. I brought the parts that Anchan gave me to the garage, but because the reaction was much more than I expected, I'm in a state of confusion. Kotori, who I came here with, and also Ageha, who came along for some reason, are both staring at me in a way that feels kind of prickly.
ありがとう。ありがとう。ありがとう。
After tearing Amane away from me, who was kind of like a big playful dog, I once again passed the parts to her. Please, go ahead and use them.
ありがとう。でも、よく手に入ったな。
A friend of mine works in a factory that deals with the manufacture and processing of special parts. For this kind of thing, he should usually be able to make it for me. Seems that for this, Anchan looked at the engineering diagram and made something that was the same.
早速取り付けよう。
Amani took the parts over to the glider. Whew. That was a surprise.
あまね先輩って結構大胆な人なんだね。こないだも抱きつかれて嬉しそうにしてたわよ、あいつ。
Oh my god.
やっぱ葵も男の子なんだね。
Double. Don't say things like that about me. God, I could take you in for defamation on that one.
それにしてもなんであなたが一緒についてくるのよ。私あまね先輩とお話ししてみたかったから。それになんだか面白そうだし。
Kotori is being pretty snappy since just now. She might be annoyed because someone else found out about our secret place. How did she find out, though? Amane is like a kid who's been bought a birthday present, has immediately started work on installing the parts. It looks like the parts are used in the instruments in the cockpit, and she diligently dismantles the mechanical parts.
これがグライダーか。
Ageha is standing beside Amane and watching her work.
これってエンジンはついてないんですよね。どうやって飛ぶんですか？風に乗って飛ぶんだ。でもまずは離陸しなきゃいけないですよね。ああ、それならいくつか方法があるが、これの場合ウインチでタコのように引っ張って飛ばすんだ。え？こんな大きなものを？ああ。
Ageha stares at the aircraft in disbelief. Kotori and I, as if we're appreciating a work of art, untiringly look on the sleek aircraft. Amane seems to have completely forgotten that we are even there and is immersed in installing the parts. It's like the first time that I came here and met Amane.
これでまた飛べるぞ。イスカが言ってた空へ行けるんだ。
What's up?
いや、なんでも。失礼します。
A female student who looks like a senior came into the garage.
望月先輩はいらっしゃいますか？
Who are you? I make a bewildered face, like, who the hell is she? And Ageha told me.
あれ、生徒会副会長の雲井あかりさんだよ。
Vice President of the Student Council? What on earth does she want? If you're looking for Amane... At that moment, she had her head in the cockpit. As the Vice President sees that, she briskly approaches the cockpit and peers inside.
望月先輩。望月先輩。
She called out in a loud voice, and Amane finally pulls her out of the cockpit.
いやあ、副会長。
On the way, she suddenly spoke to her in a familiar tone. I thought that they might have a close relationship, but the Vice President doesn't seem that way at all. Without losing her resolute attitude, she asked her question.
例の件、どうなりましたか？実はまだなんだ。こちらにいらっしゃる方々は違うんですか？違う。部品を届けてくれたんだ。
Amane was downhearted as she answered, and the Vice President let out a little sigh.
言ったはずですよ。部員が他に見つからないなら廃部にせざるを得ないと。
Why is that? Astonished, we look on as bystanders as the conversation continues.
しかしだな、副会長。先生方は特例として認めていらっしゃいますが、それでは他の少人数のサークルに示しがつきません。部としての体裁を今すぐ整えていただかなければ、廃部は避けられませんよ。
Amane looked down as though she was at a complete loss. For some reason, I get a strange pain inside as I look at her.
いいじゃない別に。
Kotori suddenly jumped into the conversation.
あなたは確か鋼小鳥さんね。
Though slightly surprised that she knew who she was, Kotori continued to speak.
だって先生がいいって言ってるんでしょ。ならあなたが文句言うことじゃないわ。それに天音先輩ってほら特別な人じゃないですか。これやるために留年、もとい学校にいることはみんな知ってるわけだし。
I thought I saw veins appear on the vice president's temples as the two of them ranted at her.
先生方が部活動のあり方に過剰に口を差し挟むのは生徒会自治権への明らかな侵害。この件についてはまさしくそれです。
She thrust forwards, approaching one step, while Kotori and Agaha take a step back.
部にしたくてもできないサークルもたくさんあります。そのため部費も下りず活動拠点となる部室さえ満足に与えられない場合もある。昨日も和太鼓研究会が練習場所の申請をしてきましたが却下せざるを得ませんでした。その時彼らが何と言ったかご存知ですか。それは知るわけないわそんなの。ソアリング部は一人であんな大きなガレージを使っているのにどうして我々には練習場所一つないんだ。至極もっともな意見だと思いませんか。思います。それなのに申請を却下された彼らは当然納得していないでしょう。しかしこのガレージがずっと以前、それこそ我々が生まれる以前からソアリング部のものだった事実も無視できるものではありません。先生方が特例を認めるのもあるいはそこに理由があるのかもしれません。我々生徒会もその事実は尊重したい。ろくな活動実績も示せないお遊びサークルのために望月先輩を立ち退かせるのは本意ではないのです。だから
The vice president turns from facing Kotori and Agaha and looks back around at Amane, who's nervously listening behind her.
早急な対処をお願いしている次第です。活動実績なら先日やっとテストフライトを。あれは授業中じゃありませんか。言語道断。むしろ廃部へ一歩近づいたとお考えいただかなければ。
Oh god. Amane staggered back as if she had been hit hard. I guess that's true though, isn't it? On Windmill Hill, when Kotori and I watched the glider flying across the sky, lessons were taking place in the school.
いいですか。部活動として認められるには最低4人、残り3人の部員を集めていただかなければ。
Amane looked down with a very grave expression.
でもこれは私が自分のためにしていることだから。ならばなおのこと、部活動として認めるわけには参りません。
I'll join. I raise my hand as the others all look at me.
あなた、この間転校してきた男子ね。確か水瀬葵くん。
The vice president looks at me as if she's evaluating me.
言っておきますが、幽霊部員じゃダメなのよ。
I know. This is the reason why I came here today, actually. I decided this morning, well, yesterday, actually, I still don't know much about gliders, though. I just thought it would be interesting. I feel excited just to imagine flying it, riding on the wind. If Senior Amane will allow me to, that is.
ああ、入りたいというなら別に構わないが。でもこれは私が私のためにしていることなんだぞ。
I still don't know much about gliders or about you either, Amane. But if that's what you want to do, then I'd like to help you. As I state my reasons, the Vice President looks as though she isn't convinced. It looks like some transfer student who doesn't even understand the situation has come barging in trying to act like a hero. I can't say that there isn't some element of that to it.
じゃあ私も。
Ageha raised her hand in a really casual manner. Even with everyone looking at her, Ageha appears aloof.
ロボット部と掛け持ちでもいいですか、先輩。ああ、それは構わないが。
What are you doing, Ageha?
だって面白そうなんだもん。
One person left. Everyone naturally looks over towards Kotori.
何？
Kotori turned her wheelchair sideways to avoid everyone's line of sight.
私は入らないわよ。
As Kotori says this, the vice president made a face that seemed relieved yet disappointed.
まだ一人足りないわ。これでは部活動として認めるわけにはいきません。
If it's decided that it can't be allowed, what will happen?
まずはこのガレージから出て行ってもらいます。
Amane looks really distressed. Well, of course she does. If there's no way to keep this giant glider, the club's activities can't continue. There's myself and Ageha, so we will get one more person. Could you wait until then?
いいでしょう。では金曜日まで待ちます。それまでに体裁を整えられなければサークルに降格。ガレージは使用不可。よろしいですね。
Amane nods in agreement with a total lack of confidence, and the vice president leaves the garage.
ハバネさん、部活入ってないよね。名義だけでも貸してもらえないかな。他に入りたい人見つかるまででいいからさ。お断りよ。
Kotori bluntly refused and left the garage.
ダメか。
We have to do something about it ourselves.
君たち。
We're sorry, Amane, that we caused things to turn out like this.
いや、助かった。君たちがいなければ廃部になってたところだった。でも本当にいいのか？
That's what I plan to do from now on.
私もいろんな意味で興味あるし。
Leave gathering members to us.
天音先輩は活動実績について副会長さんが納得するようなネタをまとめておいてください。そうする。
Is this alright with you?
何が？
Today's the first time you've been in the garage, right? Even so, you've suddenly become a member.
でも面白そうなのは確かじゃん。葵もいるし。
What am I gonna do with you?
あれで空飛ぶんでしょ？ワクワクするなって方が無理だよ。
Yeah, I know what you mean. Without thinking, I raised my voice. I was happy that Ageha felt the same way.
まあ私の場合飛ぶより飛ばす方に興味ありだけど。
I want to try to fly it. And also, she has stayed in school all this time, repeating the year over and over to do this, you know?
って噂だよ。あまね先輩は授業にも出ず、いつもガレージにこもってるって。
I don't know if that's the truth or not, but what I do know is that she's taking this very seriously. I can't let it all end for some stupid reason like there not being enough members.
まずは残りの部員集めからだね。
Let's try asking him.
グライド？何それ？ちょっと面白そうじゃん。
でしょでしょ。だからさ、あんたも入部しない？
でも俺バイトあるし、それにお前と仲良くしてるとエリちゃんが焼きもち焼くからパス。
そこをなんとかさ、大丈夫、バレないって。
それがバレるんだよ。エリちゃんうちの学校に友達いるから。だからあんま話しかけてくんなよ。
彼女できた途端これだよ。私ら幼馴染でしょ。友情はどこ行った？
バンドも忙しいし無理無理。
Oh
今度ライブ
boy.
やるんだ。だから今練習中。
冷てえの。
あいつに頼めばいいだろ、葵によ。
頼むも何もすでに部員だよ。
何？お前らまたつるむの？
何よ悪い？
Oh man.
あんたも仲間に入れてほしくなった？
I really don't want to be part of
誰
this
があん
drama.
なやつ？ペペ。
がー、汚な唾飛ばすな。たく、麻婆のくせに生意気なんだから。
おいアゲハ。
何よ。
まあなんだ。今度はうまくやれよ。
は？何の話？
もうさっさと行けよ、ほら。し。
麻婆のアホ。ダメだった。
Yeah, that was productive. So, was it my fault after all?
うん。彼女とバイトとバンドが忙しいって。あの青春野郎。昔、散々遊んでやったのにさ。
What are you talking about? If Mabo treated us like we were more important to him than his girlfriend, what do you think would happen?
コブラツイストで締め上げる。泣くまで。
So there's nothing we can do about it. Next is... Oh, that's right. Hotaru comes here, doesn't she? We went to the first grade classroom. When students from the upper grades come to visit, there's a strange air of tension in the classroom.
どうしたの？あーちゃん、青に。
Oh. My.
何かな？
Well, this is the first time I've seen you in your uniform. It suits you. When I met her yesterday, she was wearing her own clothes. You kinda look more grown up. I only said it to tease her, but she went red like she was on fire or something and got really flustered.
やだな、青に。私、大人っぽくなんか。
Oh
ほ
god.
ら、葵。後輩をからかうんじゃない。
Let's get down to brass. I'm kinda teasing you, but actually, I mean what I say.
それ、余計に立ち悪いから。あーちゃんの方が。
Let's just...
私？ほら、青に。制服だって私より似合ってる。私なんて別に。麻婆には中身は男だって言われてるし。でも見た目は可愛くなったでしょ。
When Hotaru looks at me with those innocent, sparkling eyes, I can't really tell a lie. Well, yeah, I do think she's gotten cuter.
葵
Let's just get... Ah! What the... I eat an elbow to the ribs. Ow. Oh, man.
ありがとう。葵もまあかっこよくなったと思うよ。
Can't break the tomboy traits. She said the same thing for the second time, this time in the first grade classroom, so of course I feel embarrassed. The reason why I'm looking down is because my ribs hurt, though.
で、今はそんな話しに来たわけじゃないの。
Yeah, let's just get down to brass tacks. Ageha, continuing with the momentum from before, talks to Hotaru about how they're looking for members for the Soaring Club.
青兄とあーちゃんが同じ部活に入るの？そういうこと。だからホタルもどうかなって。うん。
Glare. Hotaru glances at me. You sussing me out?
私、いい。どうして？家のお手伝いあるもん。手伝いって日曜日くらいじゃない。でも、あるから。
She seems kind of wavering, yet firm in her reply. Maybe there's a reason for it. Okay, we get it, Hotaru. But if you're interested, come by any time. That was one day in the books.
できたわよ。
Well, I think this is a good time to leave things off. Now we've got a couple things we gotta deal with. So, hopefully we can find some decent resolutions to these conflicts. I'm hoping for the best, so, till next time, it's been your German boy. Auf Wiedersehen.